All right, welcome back to the second session of Unit 1. The second session, sorry, yeah, of Unit 1. Here we are going to basically look at the functions of collective bargaining. So we have looked at the aims, the nature, and the levels of collective bargaining that we have. It is time for us to look at what collective bargaining seeks to. So that is basically what we are going to look at. And at the end of this session, I expect that we should be able to explain collective bargaining as a social exchange. Explain collective bargaining as a temporal truce or peace treaty. Understand the collective bargaining as a system of industrial jurisprudence. Differentiate between collective bargaining and other forms of social dialogue. So collective bargaining, as I have explained earlier on, we have something that a technique of social exchange and sometimes performing its function smoothly and at other times threatening to blow up. So the performance of its functions can be viewed under the following three headers. So the performance of this social exchange that we are talking about can be viewed using these three categories. So one, we are saying that collective bargaining acts as a technique of long-run social exchange. So collective bargaining is one of the techniques that actually prolong or ensure bringing rearrangement in power hierarchy of competing groups. Sorry. So collective bargaining is one of the tools or one of the techniques that actually helps bring rearrangement in power. So when we conduct a collective bargaining or we conduct a collective bargaining agreement platform, it actually gives us the platform to rearrange certain powers hierarchy of competing groups to be able to settle certain differences. Again, collective bargaining serves as peace treaty between two parties in continual conflict. So it serves as a resolving tool that help to resolve conflict that exists between two continuing conflicts. So when there is a conflict that has been there over ages or since memorial or something of that sort, collective bargaining is one of the techniques that we can actually use to resolve such differences. So sometimes we are there and we say that this conflict has been there since our forefathers and all that. But one way or the other, based on the knowledge of certain group of people, they are able to organize this collective bargaining. The two opposing views will come and then sit at a round table, negotiate, and then know how best to actually bring everything to an end. Then again, collective bargaining establishes a system of industrial jurisprudence that is defining the rights and duties of the conflicting parties. So that is another. Now, the long-term social exchange. Collective bargaining in its broader aspect is not confined solely to economic relations between employers and employees. Okay, so again, the long-term social exchange, yes, as a collective bargaining tool. So we are saying that by Silic Helmer also define it as a technique whereby an inferior social class or group carries on and never slacken pressure for a bigger share in social sovereignty, as well as for more welfare, security, liberty for its individual member. Now we have the temporal truce or the temporal truce. It depends on how you want to pronounce it. The school you attended, though. So this one is saying that collective bargaining may be viewed as a struggle between two opposing forces, with the outcome depending on their relative strength. So they are of the view that if collective bargaining will be reached depends on the strength of the opposing forces. So if one is being so elastic, then it tells you the nature of how the collective bargaining activity is going to be like. But if one tries to be that flexible, then or if both of the parties or the forces involved in the collective bargaining are kind of flexible, then the rate at which collective agreement will be reached is kind of going to be simpler. Then we have the industrial jurisprudence. This one also says that collective bargaining creates a system of industry's jurisprudence. It is a method of introducing civil rights into industry that is of requiring that management be conducted by rule rather than by arbitral decision. Yes, so here the collective bargaining helps to establish certain standard or certain norms or civil rights that is supposed to be followed or should be given to every individual within that particular management system, rather than just being based on habitual decision. There's a need for us to do this. We take decision and all that. No, we just sit down collectively, make an agreement, or we begin to develop a particular decision. So basically, this is what we need to discuss, know about this particular session. Thank you very much. So you can answer some of these questions to just make yourself. Thank you, thank you, thank you.